Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So here we are on episode 30. I think that's pretty amazing. I'm really happy that we've gotten this far. I thought we would continue the conversation that we were having from the last episode. We did a conversation on artificial intelligence and music. With this one, I wanted to do a little bit more of a general conversation on how artificial intelligence has been portrayed in science fiction and film, cinema, and how it's been incorporated into everyday life. And I have two incredibly special guests, and I'm going to ask each one of my guests to introduce themselves. So I'm going to make my first pitch.
My name is D. Calhoun, also known as Screaming Mad D. I'm a singer, songwriter, and author from Frederick, Maryland, currently signed to Black Bamber Records.
Cool. And next?
My name is Morgan Bamber. I am the new vocalist for the sludge/slam metal band Deluser. I'm from Martinsburg, West Virginia, and yeah, that's what I do.
We love the guys in Deluser. We've had them on the show. There are Easter alien eggs. I think it's one of the funniest episodes we've done. I thought we would start this conversation with a shout out to our friends, Faces of the Undead. My friend D. Calhoun happened to be part of an event that they recently participated in. It's called Fright Reads. Is that what you're?
Fright Reads, yes. Fright Reads Book Festival.
And where did this take place at, D?
This was at the Howard County Fairgrounds. And I believe this was the fourth year they've done it. It was my second year. And it's grown so awesome. Big in just a short amount of time. I think their first show, they had 20 authors there. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And just a couple weeks ago, they had 200. It's gotten bigger and bigger, and it's just a great weekend of fun surrounded by creative people and just good vibes altogether.
That sounds fantastic. Nick, let's go ahead and bring up the first graphic that we have for this episode. Again, this is from our friend Frank McGregor of Faces of the Undead. He's working on the second Faces of the Undead. We had them on in May, and we did a deep dive on their first Faces of the Undead. I saw it at Waynesboro Theater. Matt Burns was promoting that. I think they do incredible work. It's really good stuff. Let's go ahead and bring up their Facebook page. And if you don't mind, Nick, we'll scroll through that for a minute, and let's take a look at the picture of Matt Burns. Go down a little bit, and in the pictures, you're going to see Matt Burns. There he is. There's our friend Matt. And with Faces of the Undead, I encourage everyone to support all these independent media makers. Buy something from these guys. Buy something from my friend D. Calhoun. And Faces of the Undead, they've got some new merchandise out. So check them out. They're on Facebook, and we'll go ahead and close that. And let's bring up D's first picture there. Yep. Well,
that's a striking likeness.
Yeah. The first question I have while we get this up there is how long and how did the writing process? I think, I know of you as a musician, right? I've seen you perform as a musician. So I was fascinated by the fact that you're a writer. Are these self-published? Do share.
Yes. Well, first of all, that Facebook page is my personal page. My musician/creative Facebook page is facebook.com Screaming Mad D.
Screaming Mad D.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. What book do you have out there right now?
I gotta fix a problem. You're gonna have to just vamp for a minute, okay?
Yeah. Sure. Let's do a deep dive on your writing while he gets this up.
I started 10 years ago. I was working an overnight job, and I had written in the past. I had dabbled in short stories and whatnot, but I was working overnights. And
Cool.
That's from Fright Reads.
All right. Well, let's pick it up with Fright Reads, and then we'll get back to the beginning of your career as a writer.
Okay.
So this event you said was in Montgomery County.
Howard County.
Howard County
Yeah.
near Baltimore.
Yes.
Okay. Do tell us about this event.
Well, I sort of have a. There's one side of me that's music, and there's one side of me that's writing. At Fright Reads, I focus more on the writing side of that. So, you see all the books there. I do bring my music though and whatnot, and just talk with people about writing and whatnot, which is way out of my comfort zone. When people come up, my wife is always elbowing me, say something, say something. So I've sort of gotten into the frame of mind, to be cordial and and it's a lot of fun meeting people, talking to people about books, and that always transition into film and into music. So it's just a great creative experience to be involved in something like that.
Now, how many pieces have you published, and where can people read your writings?
I've published 6 books, 2 short story collections, 2 novels, a novella, and a novelette collection. I of course sell everything at my live shows, and Amazon carries everything. So the best place to find my stuff is to go on my website, screamingmadd.com, and there's retail links for everything.
Now, let me ask, with your writings and your publications, are they all in the horror genre, or are they, in different genres?
Dark fiction.
Dark fiction.
Yeah, when people at the book show say, "What do you write?" I say dark fiction, because there is, of course, some horror there. There's some dark satire, some stuff that lapses into sci-fi, some stuff that lapses into fantasy. But it's all dark.
Yeah,
It's all dark, sinister. I love the twist endings.
Yeah, the hook.
Big fan growing up of Twilight Zone. Big fan of Tales from the Crypt. So I love the twist endings that you don't see coming, that sort of thing.
No, I love that. And then, since we put these in order, we'll go ahead and pull up the next graphic, which I believe is a show that you have going on in October. And then you said I pulled up your Facebook page, so I apologize for that. So we'll plug your web pages a couple more times, and we're going to talk about the 18th as well.
Okay.
So I did get this graphic, and I wanted to talk about this show that you're doing. Share anything that you want about this one. This one's in Cumberland, Maryland.
Yes, my hometown.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
On July 5th, I participated in a show called Sabathon. July 5th was the same day that the Back to the Beginning show happened in Birmingham, England, the final Black Sabbath Ozzy performance, which turned out to be the final because soon after that Ozzy passed. And we all played tribute to Ozzy and Sabbath. So I did a set of Sabbath songs arranged in my style. It was great fun, and I found out about this show, a tribute night, and I said, "Hey, I can come up and do my Sabbath set." So that's how that came about.
That's incredible.
So we called it Acoustic Funeral, a play on Electric Funeral, and it should be a lot of fun.
Okay, cool. Now, this is a perfect way to move in. We'll skip the Facebook, and let's pick up the first couple of graphics that we have with Morgan. And I want to talk to you about how you became involved. We'll start with that. How you became involved with The Loser. And then let's plug a few of the dates that you have coming up.
Yeah, so the boys, Tony and Hunter, I've known them for a few years. We started with a band called Gentim. At the time, everyone was working, whatnot, so we kind of split off in our own ways a little bit. Some of them stayed, did their own thing. Then eventually they came into The Loser, and Dow's, we love Dow's, but he wasn't in the band no more. So then they were looking for a vocalist, so my boy Tony on drums, he was like, hey, message me, like, you want to be a part of The Loser? And I was like, hell yeah, I'd love to be. see what y'all got going on. Very excited to be a part of it. And pretty much we did maybe like one practice, maybe two, and played a show right after that. And since then we've just been playing like shows. We've played like 4 or 5 shows already in the past couple of months, and they've been awesome. We've been to the beach. That was an awesome trip. That was an awesome show. We've been all kinds of shows, but up here, what you see here are the remaining shows we have for this year. We got a couple around here, Bad Habits, going on in November. November is really where you want to look at to catch us playing around here.
I got their graphic. The November 29th. Let's pull up the next graphic that we have, Nick. Let's talk a little bit about this show that you guys have going on at Cafe 611. That's one of my favorite venues in Frederick. I think that's a great stage.
I'm excited to check it out
Yeah,
and play
man.
it. I haven't played there quite
yeah.
yet. We played one place in Frederick, Cafe Nola. That was our very first show. That was pretty awesome, but I haven't played this one yet. Very excited to play it. Yeah, this one's going to be awesome. I think this one might be one of our sooner, closest shows. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're one of our upcoming ones.
It's awesome. Let's go ahead and pull up the next one, because this is one. This has you on there as well, doesn't it? Screaming Mad D? Yes, it does. So let's start with this. I'll pass to D. Let's talk. One of the questions I had for both of you. This show. Let's talk about this show, and then I want to know how music became part of your life, and then I'll pass the same question. How old you were, how you started pursuing. So anything that you want to say about Calhoun Miller's birthday party that's coming up in your performance, please do.
I met Calhoun in 2022 at one of Brandon Wright's acoustic shows at Bad Habits, and Calhoun and I just hit it off big right away. And this being his birthday party, and he's finally going to be a man.
Yeah.
I'm totally psyched to do this. It'll be a lot of fun. Yes. His shows are always fun. It's a great lineup, and it's a great room. So
yeah, at the channel, we've been friends with Calhoun since he was 16 years old. I met him during the pandemic. He was hanging out at the Let There Be Rock School. Just the passion that he has for music and his taste in music, even at a very young age. Like he loved Jimmy Swope, and at the time we had Ghost Road come from Cumberland. They played at the Apollo Theater. We did this great show. Unfortunately, it was during the pandemic. It was what it was. But that was one of the earliest memories I remember of Calhoun. From there, we invited him to be part of a show that we did at Frederick Arts Council, in Martinsburg at Berkeley Arts Council during the pandemic. And he's an interesting and fascinating young man.
Yes.
He's had an incredible few years. Morgan, same thing about performing on the 29th.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Like I said, like he said, Calhoun does throw some pretty awesome shows. One of our craziest shows was actually at Bad Habits. Last one I played at Bad Habits, we got a lot of attention, especially on our song Tilted. That was awesome. That was an awesome show. Everyone killed it at that show. But yeah, Calhoun's had a huge part, especially in our community of, with metal being a promoter and whatnot, one of the biggest ones besides SPK and whatnot, Yeah. So with that being said, he's got a lot going on. He gives a lot of opportunities to a lot of upcoming bands, to have a spot and have, be able to perform. And I think just that's awesome. And I think it's amazing especially for young people, it steers them away from, they've been doing a lot worse things,
Yes.
And music, music is a great outlet for kids and anyone who, and I feel like Calhoun's a good figure in that community. I'll give him that. But we're very excited, happy belated birthday, from all of us, we're very excited to play it.
I think that's a great, I want to know, D, when did music begin for you? When does this become part of your consciousness? When is it something that that you're going to pursue?
I'm going to date myself here. When I was 9 years old, 1976, I saw Kiss on television. No, Paul Lynn Halloween special, and Kiss played 3 songs. Well, they mimed 3 songs, and I saw that, and it was the epiphany. I want to do that someday. Had no idea how to do it, what went into it, but I said, I want to do what they're doing. I want to play music. So I always tell people, Kiss got me into music. Black Sabbath got me into dark, heavy music. I told friends, as I became known as this rabid Kiss fan, why do you like Kiss? Oh man, because they're dark and scary. No, they weren't, but they had that look. And to a 9-year-old who was way into comic books and horror movies, they worked their way into that vibe. And someone says, well, if you really want to hear dark and heavy, and they dropped the needle on the first Sabbath album for me. So when I heard that, I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's what I want to do. And then when I discovered Judas Priest and Rob Halford, that's when I had my vocal template. So it was sort of those 3 things, that led me into it. And I started playing in garage bands. I sat in my room and sang along to records. And my school had a talent contest. And they sent a note home, sent a note home with everybody. And my mother says, you're going to enter this, aren't you? I'm like, no way. I was terrified of the idea. And she guilted me, oh, if I could sing, I'd stand on the roof and do it. And if you enter it, I'll give you $20. So I entered it, and I won. So I like to tell people the first time I played music, I was paid to do so.
I love that.
So I blame my mother for all this nonsense.
That's awesome.
And that talent show was April 25th, 1980. So I've been doing this nonsense, for 45 years now.
That's amazing. It really is.
And I still think one day I'll make some money doing it, other than the $20 my mother gave me.
Oh, I think that's the story of all artists,
Right.
Story of all artists. Morgan, when we were riding over here, you shared some pretty intense stuff about your history with music. So again, the same question, whatever you want to share, how did music become such a vital part of your life?
Mainly, I feel like music's been part of my family, a huge part of it. While my dad's working, no matter what, when I'm growing up, my dad had records and records and records, had a record player, and he had like a mixture of everything from Johnny Cash, from Motley Crue, from Grateful Dead. I mean, that man loved Grateful Dead. He still does to this day. I grew up with a lot of different types of music, and as a kid, that was one of the only things that just interested me at all. My dad would put Rob Zombie, videos on the TV, and I'd be like, wow, this is awesome. Like, I begged my dad to watch him over and over again when I came home from school. He'd be like, no, not to do your homework. So I loved, that's what really got me into that type of music, I would just pretend to sing, pretend to be like them, when I was a kid and whatnot. And I feel like I really got involved with music whenever I was a teenager, and I was being an asshole, I was going, we were in a dysfunctional house, we didn't have much growing up. My dad did what he could do, but with that being said, I didn't have a mother growing up. It was just him, he, didn't graduate high school, so it was just working construction, whatever he could do, and he was struggling himself on and off of drugs. My mother had passed away, so I used a lot of music to cope with that type of stuff, a lot of music, I feel like music is, make you get a lot more higher than any other drug will, you know what I mean? When I was 15 all the way throughout to 17ish, I started experimenting with drugs and whatnot, and I got sent to, I thank God every day I got sent to this place, but I got sent to a placement home called Timber Ridge, and I was sent to the treatment unit, and that time I had they had a really old classical guitar that they would give to the unit, and no one really played it, but I was like, you know what, I want to take the time to learn how to do this while I'm in here. So that is what really kicked it off, and then when I got out, I wanted to continue doing music. I just know my whole life, that's all I wanted to do, no matter what, I was homeless at one point with just nothing but a guitar, that's all I'd have, that's one reason I knew I loved it that much. Like at this point, I'm like, I can't give it up. But mainly, my soon-to-be wife, my fiance, she helped me a lot, really pushed me to be like, hey, go message these people, go out there, become a part of something. So I didn't really know how to, and, so one day I was on Facebook, and I seen Genton was looking for a vocalist, and then, like I said, I hit it up from there, and then, they became Deluser, and, so music, that's mainly how I've gotten into music, my life.
I love to hear that. And as an older artist, I want to say, for me, music was the first step to a much larger art world. I mean, you and I can talk about writing, literature, film, all these different kind of things. There's this amazing interconnectedness of all of the, arts. They all become one. I know you're a big film fan. I'm a big film fan. I was sharing with you. You were sharing with about Kiss. When I was a kid, they tried to do this TV show called Fridays, right?
I remember Fridays.
ABC did Fridays. NBC had Saturday Night Live. And I was maybe 12 or 13 when it came on. They had Wendy O. Williams on, right? I'm just a kid. She's out there in her Wendy O. Williams outfit with a chainsaw, running a chainsaw through a television. And I'm just like, I got to see her. That's when this became part of me. And for one of my proudest moments, for my 21st birthday, on my 21st birthday, I saw Wendy O. Williams and the Plasmatics at the old 930 Club on the Maggots tour. Yeah, so, punk for me opened up, punk and metal, because my journey begins with metal, punk, but it opened me up to a larger art world, and I've always been very appreciative that came from that.
Right.
So we have one more graphic, and then I thought we would get into. Oh, we did Dozer Fest, didn't we?
Yes.
We have Raleigh, North Carolina show. That's the other thing I think that you guys are doing that's fantastic is a lot of traveling at a young age, and meeting other bands and. So let's talk about this show that you guys have going on down in North Carolina.
This is one of the shows that we're doing on our 3 or 4 day run, I think, in October. It's something like that. It's like 2 or 3 days. I don't know. My mind's everywhere. But, yeah, it's going to be a lot of traveling. We've done, some trips, here and there. But, this will be my first experience with, what the road's really going to kind of be like a little taste of it, So I'm definitely excited to get our music spread out to different areas and whatnot. And hopefully next year we can get at it harder and expand even further and go to other places. That's our main goal, And that's the type of people, I feel like we are, is that we love, we love traveling. We love, getting on the road. We love, going to all these different venues and playing. And, it's awesome. Some of the shows that we've had outside of, Martinsburg were awesome. And even home, and, and one thing I can say is I might love playing all these shows, but my hometown shows will always be some of the craziest, most badass shows that we have. Like Martinsburg, people need to wake up a little bit because Martinsburg has some, pretty good shows, especially down at Bad Habits.
They do.
Yes,
they do.
One of my favorite shows we played is Bad Habits, and I'm very excited whenever we get back to play right back at home again. For sure.
Right.
I love the fact that you called it a run of shows. I know it's nitpicky, but so many people, they're doing a long weekend. Like, we're going on tour.
Yeah.
It's a run.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a run show. Now tour, that's something I'm not, necessarily ready for. I'm gonna have to eventually, but I'm, just a little taste.
When we were younger, the big line was we're gonna get signed or we got signed.
Right.
Who the fuck signed you?
The second solo gig that I did was at Cafe Nola. Mm-hmm. And my son was with me. He would have been 10 years old. And we get in there. I didn't even have merch yet. I had one book out. Mm-hmm. My first album hadn't been released yet. So we get in, I get the amp up and everything. And we sit down, and he looks at me and he says, "Now what?" I said, "What do you mean, now what?" He says, "What do we do now?" I said, "Now we wait for the show." Mm-hmm. I wanted to say, what did you think, there were going to be hookers and blow? There's a lot of that on tour.
Yeah.
None of us are riding in limousines
Right.
or tour buses. There's a lot of,
Realism.
smelly feet.
Yeah, it's
and,
realism. It's a lot of stuff people don't talk about.
and cheeseburgers and
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, Rick has gas again.
Got to stop taking another piss.
Yep.
Piss in your pants.
Yep.
Potentially, it can happen. Anything can happen when you're on the road. There's a lot of stuff that people don't talk about. It's a lot less. It's not. It's fun.
You
as
could play
people-
in Baltimore and have all your equipment stolen.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember a big story. I lived in Baltimore, and like some band had came, they were playing the Rev or something like that. I mean, everything got stolen from the band. Before we get into our little conspiracy part of the show, Dee, I wanted you to talk a little bit about the show you're part of on October the 18th at the Sorry Souls Motorcycle Clubhouse in Falling Waters, West Virginia. They're doing a very special benefit to support a local cancer treatment center.
Yes, I mean, it's supporting a great cause. Got some great acts there. B&O Railroad, Balejack. And I mean, those guys are just money.
Yes.
In either of their guises, if they're B&O Railroad or if they're Balejack. I'm going to open that show, and I'm actually doing a little over an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get to touch on all 5 of my albums. I've played there before with Spiral Grave, and it's just a cool
Yes,
place, a cool
yes,
vibe,
yes,
cool people.
yes.
It's going to be a very worthy afternoon, and
Yes.
it's going to be a fun afternoon.
Yes.
It's going to be what playing music should be. Just enriching each other and just being with cool people. And
Now, off the top of my head, I know that they have a ride scheduled. I believe that ride goes from noon to 3. I'm hoping to get some details on where exactly the ride is going so people can support it.
Right.
As well as to get like a better picture of times for the bands and stuff like that to put out on a later date. But I know the show at the clubhouse begins at 3 o'clock. It's like you said, a fantastic cause, and I hope a lot of people come out and support this one.
yes,
Yeah, I agree.
yes.
All right, so I thought for fun, AI. We in the last episode we talked about and we saw how just what a radical impact it's having on just the music. It's affecting video production. Guys like Nick and I, a lot of stuff is being done with AI. But you and I, it's a little bit older. I think you and I have a better, what's Gunnar call it, predictive programming. We've been introduced to the concept of artificial intelligence in cinema my entire life. Now, for me, I picked out 3 of the strongest clips, and I thought the first one we would take a look at is Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey from sometime in the mid-'60s. And then I'm going to ask each one of you just your general take on it. So let's watch this clip, Nick. This is the last minute.
All right, Hal. I'll go in through the emergency airlock.
Without your space helmet, Dave, we're going to find that rather difficult.
Hal, I won't argue with you anymore. Open the doors.
Dave, this conversation can serve no purpose anymore. Goodbye.
Hal? 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 Hal!
Go ahead and close it. All right, Nick. So if Alexa says to you, Nick, this conversation can serve no purpose, you know where it's going.
Don't worry about my car.
Yeah. I love Stanley Kubrick, one of my favorite filmmakers. Big fan of his. The only film, I think there's two films off the top of my head from his repertoire I don't think I've seen. One is that Barry Lyndon, I think it's called, which, I remember hearing about when he filmed that. He had a special camera lens designed by NASA so that they can film with like candlelight. But I love Stanley. I've always loved 2001, and I've never seen Eyes Wide Shut. D, give me your take on 2001 Stanley Kubrick, the portrayal of AI.
Well, as I mentioned to you the other day, and this will surprise a lot of people who know me and know my tastes and everything, I too am a huge Kubrick fan, but I've never seen 2001. But I do know this. HAL and the concept of HAL definitely set the template in cinema that AI was not a good thing.
Not a good thing.
I mentioned to you the other night, AI is never presented, and saying never is overstating it. There are examples to contradict that. AI is never benevolent.
Never.
It's always very sinister, and I think HAL in this film set the template for that.
Yes.
I think every version of AI after that in a film, they're striving to have the impact that HAL did in 2001. So even though I've never seen the film, that concept and its importance to cinema as a whole and just in storytelling, I think says a great deal about it.
Yeah. I love. Awesome answer. Thank you. Morgan, are you familiar with 2001, and have you ever seen this film?
I have not seen it, but I can say from the clip that something I definitely might have to get stoned and watch, because that's
I highly recommend it.
Very
Get stoned and watch.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably why I've never seen it, because I don't get high.
You'll see every movie.
I wanted to share this too. Like the first DVD player that was like priced about $100. I waited until DVD players had come down to about $100, and I bought my first DVD player. And the very first film I bought was Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove. And I've always thought that was one of the funniest and most brilliant pieces of cinema I've ever seen.
No fighting in the war room.
Yeah. Oh, what a great film. Let's go ahead and pull up. This is one of my favorite all-time films of all time ever. One of my favorite franchises. We're going to look at a scene from, I believe it's 1979, Alien.
Perfect organism. Its structural perfection is matched only by its hostility.
You admire it.
I admire its purity. A survivor. Unclouded by conscience, remorse, or delusions of morality.
Look, I've heard enough of this, and I'm asking you to pull the plug.
Last word.
What?
I can't lie to you about your chances, but you have my sympathies.
Ridley Scott, another incredible filmmaker.
Yes.
I thought his return to the Alien franchise with Covenant was top notch. I thought Covenant was a really good film. I enjoyed that very much. My mom went to see Alien in 1979. She rode on the back of a motorcycle. I think about it now, fucking crazy. You talk about dysfunction. I came from a very dysfunctional family. But they drove that fucking motorcycle all the way from Charlestown, West Virginia to Georgetown just to be able to see. My mom wanted to see Aliens.
Nice.
Her boyfriend at the time on the back of a motorcycle drove her all the way to see. But I've been a fan of the franchise. Ash, like you were talking about, AI is portrayed as, and same with Ash, like he is a robot in the film and controlled by what's called Mother, which is their artificial intelligence. But AI created to essentially do the will of another machine, not a human. They're doing the will of another machine.
Right.
Your thoughts on that?
Well, I too love this film, and there's the eternal debate between Alien and Aliens, and I don't think you can compare the two.
Yeah, no.
They're two different types
And
of
they're
films,
both brilliant, wonderful films.
and they both accomplish what they set out to accomplish in spades. Ian Holm, Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up. You can't even really pin it on Ash. He's
Or
created,
Mother.
right?
I kind of say Mother, but I mean Mother's following
it's the
orders
company.
too. It's the company.
It's the company.
It's the company.
I was waiting for when they smack Ash's head, and he's got that funny little grimace after they hit him and take him offline. But no, it's another great case of malevolent AI.
Yeah.
In this case, you're expendable because our masters want this organism. You're cannon fodder. This is just before the birth of arguably the greatest female, the greatest heroine in film history.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. And an incredible actress. I love Sigourney Weaver. I
Yes.
think a wonderful career, diverse, wide-ranging, and really a fun actress. Yeah. Morgan, have you seen the original Alien? Or
No, I have never seen the original Alien.
Let me
but-
throw this question at you. You said you're 20, you're turning 21. Do you believe that there are extraterrestrials? And if so, do you believe that they're in any way interacting with human beings?
That is a very hard question, but I mean, all I can say is, the universe is extremely, extremely big, large. You know what I mean? It's extremely large. So, I mean, I don't see what could be stopping from there being extraterrestrial life. You know what I mean? Do I think we've had contact with them before, though? That's something I have no clue personally. I have no clue, but I mean, there's things like some people would say, the pyramids give off these magnetic beams or something like that, and it's to think about that they could have possibly been here, or they knew how to communicate with them is just crazy. Just the thought of, any day, something could just come down and just do whatever. You don't know. You don't know if they're gonna be friendly or they're gonna start attacking you. And if they did, the scary thought about that is that we're pretty much screwed, because these people if they have the technology to be able to reach Earth, imagine what else they are capable of doing. That's just crazy to me.
Same question to you, Dee. Are you a believer that aliens are here? Do you believe if they're interacting with man? Or
what I've always said about that subject, I don't necessarily believe or disbelieve, but I think that in the grand scope of the universe, to think that we're it is very pompous.
Yeah.
So, I don't necessarily believe or disbelieve. I know that sounds like a cop-out. I don't know that there is. I don't know that there isn't.
Yeah.
If they suddenly showed up one day, I don't know that I would be all that surprised.
Right.
I mean, there would be the holy shit factor to it.
Yes.
But I don't know that I would immediately be screaming fake news or in disbelief of it. Because, again, I think it's very arrogant, and I think it's part of the human condition to say that in the whole universe, we're all that there is.
Right.
And that might be a defense mechanism on our part. So I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, I agree. Nick, let's go ahead and take a look. I picked this last clip. I went back and forth. This is from 1984. This is James Cameron's clip from Terminator, the original Terminator. I'm going to watch about a minute of this. Let me know when we're a minute in. You can go ahead and bring it down. Okay, this is 1984 that Terminator is put out. This technology, this AI-controlled drones, are now being used on the modern battlefield as never before in human history. In the conflict in Ukraine, that's the number one form of weapon. Are cheap drones. We've used this drone technology all through the Middle East, and we are actively employing artificial intelligence to, so a machine on the battlefield makes the decision on who the target is. Your thoughts on is this predictive programming? Your thoughts on how AI is now being used to essentially kill other human beings.
Right. And I mean, just to talk about the cinematic view of this, I think the AI in the Terminator franchise was kind of the next logical step in its portrayal in film, because with HAL, and I may be underselling this since I haven't seen the movie, with HAL you've got an AI that basically says, you know what, you're beneath me, I'm not talking to you anymore. Where with Skynet, you've got an AI that says, you know what, you're a threat to me, I'm going to eliminate you. So it goes from being smug to being an actual aggressor. And there are sci-fi stories that have touched on this. Does life imitate the art? Does portraying things like that then plant the seed and get the right kind of minds thinking, let's do this. Let's figure this out.
Right.
Probably the biggest, the most fantastic portrayal in the Terminator franchise is Miles Dyson, who says, "No, we got to stop this." Instead of thinking, "Ooh, boy, if I'm going to do all this, I'm going to be loaded."
Right.
So you do have to wonder: is this life imitating art?
Right. Going back to Hal murders Dave. It is a conscious decision made by the same machine for the same reason, to protect itself, right? And in the film, he's able to read their lip they're trying to they talks away from and how they don't believe how can, but he reads their lips and he now knows they're a
Right.
threat to me.
Okay. Like I said, I
yeah,
may have
yeah,
been
yeah,
underselling
yeah,
that since I hadn't seen the film. So
No. No, I think it's very frightening, this technology, you know. Morgan, your thoughts on this, on artificial intelligence?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is terrifying. I mean, the whole thing with drones is, you know, it's a step from being really like messed up. Like honestly, it really is. I've seen videos like on Instagram before where just they're like it's not even humane at this point. Like I've seen them like to where people were just chasing them to their death and like a little cat and mouse game. And it's just, you know, that's just, it's wrong, you know. It's just, I think it's honestly one of those things where it's like should this have been taken to this level?
Something you can't surrender to.
Exactly. You cannot
Right.
at all.
Right.
You know, it's almost like
there's
nuclear,
no Geneva Convention.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so like I don't agree with them. Definitely don't agree with them using it to kill people for sure. But that's a scary thing that, you know, one day what's stopping it from from AI malfunctioning and just doing all kinds of crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. Now, this has been an incredible conversation. I think we're going to take a pause and we're going to set up to do some music with each one of you guys. So before we fade to black, I want each one of you to tell the audience how they can follow you on social media. What are your main forms of social media, and people that are interested in your music, your literature, and supporting your band? Let's nail it.
Probably the best way to find me is through screamingmadd.com. That's D with 2 E's following it. All the links to my socials are there, as well as video, audio, retail links to all my music, my books. Mainly I use Facebook. I'm trying to integrate Instagram more. Right now I mainly use Instagram to chat with my kids during the day. Yeah, visit my website. All the bells and whistles are there.
Awesome. Same for you, Morgan.
For us, mainly follow us on Facebook, Instagram, obviously at Deluser. You just type that in, it'll pop up. But yeah, mainly that's where you'll find us. You'll also find our music on Spotify, I think Apple Music. I might even be putting stuff out on YouTube Music, stuff like that here soon. Today we are going to record, I think, a bunch of singles. That's what we're doing. I'm not sure if we're doing it an album or singles, what Hunter, our guitarist, said. But with that being said, yeah, after this we're going to record, and we're going to have a lot of new music out there. So definitely be checking that out. But yeah, we're excited to share this with y'all for sure.
I ask everyone to stick around for some live musical performances. Hey, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. It's really nice that we can add this musical proportion to the show. I'm going to ask everyone, please support the channel, support what we do. Please subscribe to us. Please watch our content. Please like our content. It helps us in the algorithm. And please share the show. Share the show with your friends, your family. We want to do something focused on the local music scene, art scene, the local community, the Panhandle area. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Morgan Bamber of Deluser.
First one I got, it's called A New Day. Today is a new day. I'm not gonna live in no changes. gonna let you drag me down. I'm not gonna let you drag me down. I'm not gonna let you drag me down. Drag me down. Drag me down.
Fucking awesome, young man.
Next one we got,
Yes.
it's called Gone. So seems my life is coming to an end. So dark, I cannot see. I don't know why I act this way. I guess that I'm just losing my mind. Why can't God just give me a damn break and make my life easier on me? Oh no. Day I could be gone. Is to be at my own peace. I don't ask for sympathy. I don't know why I act this way. I guess that I'm just losing my mind. Why can't God just give me a damn break and make my life easier on me? Oh, I know any day I could be Yeah!
was fucking awesome. Really awesome. Thank you, Morgan. That was really, really top notch. I always enjoy talking to young minds. I don't get that opportunity enough. And I love this conversation and that performance. I wish you nothing but success with The Loser. Everyone, and longevity with your music and your art. Everyone, stick around. We got Mad D, Screaming Mad D Calhoun coming up next. Thanks, everyone, for sticking around. I'm going to take one more opportunity to encourage everyone to please subscribe to the channel, watch our content, share our content, and encourage others to support the channel and what we're doing. This is a critical time for the show, and we really need your support. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and a pleasure to introduce Screaming Mad D Calhoun. D, take him to school.
This is from Angry Old Man. This is called A Piece from the Shoulder. A pick and a shovel. I got a plan on my mind. Got me a pick and a shovel. I have someone to find. Nice piece of land in the woods where the wind blows so cold. That piece of land in the woods is awaiting a hole. A piece from the shoulder might settle him down. A piece from his head before he goes in the ground. Got me a bone to pick. Got me a rage in my crawl. Got me a sock full of quarters. Swing them around. Shut his mouth once and for all. Canvas tarpaulin to gag him and wrap him real good. Collective of filth and I have a date in the woods. A piece from the shoulder might settle him down. A piece from his head when he goes in the ground. buy me a pick and a shovel. I have a long drive back home. He had some names he was screaming. I had some sticks and some stones. Covered his face up with dirt as he stared dead at the clouds. His robe and his hood made a goddamn nice burial shroud. A piece from the shoulder and he's quiet now. A piece and he's dead.
Was awesome.
Thank you.
Fantastic, dude.
This is also from Angry Old Man. Angry Old Man is now available on Black Doomba Records. Had to get that in there, or they'll yell at me. This is called Kill a Motherfucker. Incomprehensible, it's taking hold all around. Look there, look out, cross from filth to be crowned. Vindictive and venomous, rallies the hate in its name. Drooling and gluttonous, not fit for what it will proclaim.
Shell shock, don't talk, not gonna save me and you. Sadly, when it gets to this point, there's only one thing we can do. Kill a motherfucker! Kill a motherfucker!
So unbelievable, the things that these things would commit. Here, there, everywhere, destroy what will not submit. Drunk in their own atrocities, gorged with an unending thirst to avoid an end by them, simply see them go first.
Shell shock, don't walk, run in with all of your might. Sadly, when it gets to this point, only one thing makes it right. Kill a motherfucker! Kill a motherfucker! shell shock. The clock, hope is ticking away. Sadly, when it gets to this point, there's only one thing left to say. Kill a motherfucker! Kill a motherfucker! Kill a motherfucker! Kill a motherfucker!
Yeah, that was awesome. Yes, Dee. Thank you. Oh, that was a blast. I'm sorry about that, everybody. I want to thank both of our guests for being on the show today. Morgan, thank you very much for coming on. I very much enjoyed the conversation. I wish you guys nothing but success, and your artistic journey is just beginning, and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride. D. Calhoun, that was fantastic.
Thank you.
Man. Thanks for being on the show. I look forward to seeing you on the 18th.
Thank you.
All right. Nick, go ahead and take us out of here.